Hey guys, it's Shilo here. Today's video is going to be formatted a little differently than my usual videos. Today I'm going to be talking about basic fun.
Hey, so editing Shilo here. I recorded this intro bit before the whole controversy with basic fun happened, and yes, I'm definitely going to cover that in this video, but this intro was filmed in a more lighthearted manner than I probably would have filmed it given the things we're gonna talk about. But yeah, I just wanted that to be known. We're gonna get into that. We're definitely gonna get into that.
But I have a lot to say on the matter, and I don't want to film an entire video like this with mascot cam. So I have decided to voice over some footage of me cleaning up my LPS display, so you guys have some fun visuals to look at. Now, this is a display cleaning video, so I'm going to be showing you the before, and we watch and we don't judge. Listen, dust collects really fucking fast, and there is just simply not enough time in life generally, so we're not judging the amount of dust on my collectibles, thank you. Anyway, enough preamble, I will get into my thoughts about Gen 7.
So when I was originally intending on recording this video, I was intending on having like kind of a neutral disposition on basic fun. Like, I obviously wanted to point out like certain things like quality that has been, shitty quality that has been consistent over the last 2 to 3 waves, the differences in the KX and the YX, all that shit. But a lot of things have happened that make me have more of a negative disposition on basic fun. Honestly, if you want my true opinion on basic fun, I've really just been tolerant of their existence for the last year and a half, because I will admit that the pets are cute. We have to admit, a lot of the pets are cute, but the main thing about it is the quality. I have always been a staunch advocate that even though these are children's toys, especially because this company knows they have a collector base, which we will get to at a certain point, that it just makes sense to, quality check your product, but this is not unusual for basic fun. So first, before we get into the whole controversy and boycott thing, we're gonna go back a little bit. So when I first started the concept for this video, I had really written critiques on the sweet and stylish pet sets, so we're gonna start there. Oh my god, I saw the vision. There are aspects about these designs that are cute, but overall, before I get into the nitty-gritty of the finer details of this, it's just busy. Overall, the designs are just busy as fuck. So we're gonna start with this short hair down here. I actually don't dislike her that much. It's just basic fun, again, with these stupid fucking lightning strikes. I wish they would stop doing this. People have said this over and over and over again, the lightning strike, they're too busy, it's too much. Why would you put random, and also the fact that she's got a flower up there. Are we dead ass?
Pausing the voiceover to mention that on top of my dragon, I have this bear jar full of LPS mice. Why? I don't know. I just thought... Actually, I don't know what I thought. Anyway, this thing dusty as fuck. Sheesh.
It's the pattern mixing. Her color story is totally fine. She actually has a decent color palette. And in this rendering, she doesn't look bad. I've not seen very many photos of her in box. If I can find one, I'll put one up on the screen. But I'm not entirely sure on her quality, so I can't speak too much of that. One thing I will say is these accessories really piss me off. These sets are more expensive than the regular blinds. I'm not entirely sure exactly how much buy in USD, but you're gonna charge me much more for a simple bead and wire necklace. That's fucking stupid. And also, these accessories look like very cheaply made. You could get all of these accessories in mass for very cheap on Alibaba or AliExpress. So also, these LPS phone accessories kind of piss me off. I don't know. I can't tell you exactly why, but they just do. Moving on to the crouching cat up here, they're quite literally just copying another design that Hasbro already had, just in a very shitty way. You could have actually done something interesting here, but nah. Again, with the wire bead necklace, and I don't know if it's just a me thing, but these big-ass bows that they've been, shoving in shit, recently has really been pissing me off. The absolute laziness of some of these accessories piss me off. Again, here with the Miss Dachshund, this big-ass fucking bow. I hate this fucking bow. I will say, at least they tried with her color story again, but, that pattern on the face is just kind of confusing. And also, I will say, this is something that I've seen again in another leak, but they go with this kind of I don't know how to describe it, an Indian or Arabian style, it low-key kind of cultural appropriation. I'm not gonna call them racist for it, but it's just a very interesting thing for them to do repeatedly. And this Dalmatian down here, do I even have to talk about the neck? Holy fuck. I mean, it would be cute. Like, maybe this is most likely just a bad rendering of it, but like, you have to think, like, as a company, this is your promotional material, so it really needs to be like up to par. Like, this is just shitty photoshopping, and we'll see this again later on. I just absolutely fucking hate what they've been doing with the color stories lately, and like with the Christmas advent calendar, there's a couple of those in there that are cute that I like the gingerbread deer and the chocolate peppermint bunny. Like, those are cute, but that husky to the right of it is literally just the husky that they made in like wave 1 or 2, and then the rest of these have like really awful color combinations and color stories. Like, I really hate they continuously use the colors red, green, and yellow over and over and over again, and it like, what, do something different, please. Like, the wolf cat is all right, but ooh. Anyway, I also want to briefly mention a kind of sort of controversy that happened when they released the Comic-Con pets for this year. The 2025 Comic-Con pets were snakes, and people particularly had an issue with the red one because it kind of looks like a other design. It's just another case of Basic Fun and their team not having any originality and creativity and just piggybacking off old Hasbro designs. Nothing new. But then we get these newer leaks of LPS that have yet to come out that this is really what I wanted to start getting into with this video. So first of all, we have these Basic Fun edition reproductions of Savvy, Brooke, and Sage from LPS Popular. Where do I even start with these fucking things, honestly? The short hair that's supposed to be Brooke, she looks like she got a botched facial feminization surgery. Fucking Savannah, I will say, it doesn't look as bad as some fakes that I have seen, but I've definitely seen fakes of her that looks infinitely better than this fucking shit. It's even in these rendered photos, which I'm assuming they are. I'm assuming these aren't real products they've actually made yet. Maybe as of me recording this, they've been made because this was a while ago. The color matching on the orange in the face and the orange in the body is just so inconsistent. Jesus Christ. Her eyes, what the fuck? And then Sage just looks like he's on fucking fentanyl. I've seen fakes of this that look infinitely better. I've seen fakes of the Brooke that look infinitely better. Like, this, no excuse for this. Like, this was supposed to be their shining star, right? Because, like, they've already reproduced these molds. They made the short hair, they made the dachshund, and they made the collie molds, and then they came out with the popular characters. This was supposed to be, like, their heavy hitter. This was supposed to be something that drum up hype around it. And it's just... it's dog shit. I'm sorry. I cannot suck their dick any longer. It's dog shit. Like, I cannot feel like this is worth my money. I'm sorry. As a consumer, this is just not worth my money. And then we get into the next set of 4 leaks that came. The bottom 2 are literally just dog shit reproductions of LPS that Hasbro already made. I've seen better fakes of the Cocker Spaniel. And why the fuck did they make my boy metallic? That's a choice. That's a choice. Do I even have to say anything about the giraffe? He looks like he does E at the gay bar. I can't. I'm sorry. Moving on. The strawberry rhino. Girl, okay. I'm seeing the vision. I understand, but also it just looks god awful. It looks god awful. I'm sorry. It just doesn't give strawberry. Like, I see the vision, but to me it just looks like a strawberry farted in the same room as this design concept. Like, on to the next set of 4, we have on the bottom right this fuck ass orange-ish yellow, red, and green squirrel. I don't know what the hell. I think somebody in the design team is got to be sniffing coke. Because why would you think that this is okay? Even if, let's say, because these are children's toys, even if they were trying to go, like, lean a little more like childish, I refuse to accept slop for children's toys. Hasbro never did this to us. That's all I'm gonna say. The turtle on the left, bottom left corner is lackluster. I don't know what the fuck's going on with him. I can't see much of his eyes, but if what I'm thinking is correct, he has lightning bolts in his eyes, again with these stupid fucking lightning bolts. Same with the squirrel. Can we please cut it the fuck out? The caterpillar looks like it's on crack, and what the fuck is going on with the shark? Is that supposed to be flames? It's not. Oh my god. Going on to the next set of 4, what the hell? First of all, this bull, the color story of this bull is just so fucking confusing to me. Why are the tips of his horns blue? Basic Fun, you are going to answer for your crimes. Why are the tips of his fucking horns blue? Explain that to me. And why are his hooves white? This shit is ridiculous, you guys. The toucan, again with this fucking orange, green, and yellow color scheme. We've got to cut it out. We've got to use more colors than yellow, red, and green, please. Same thing with this cat down here. This orangish yellow with the green and the white. Oh my god. See, this is another example of what I was talking about earlier with the kind of like henna looking designs, like the more Indian looking designs. Cultural appropriation. This bunny up here, oh my god, dude. Why does this motherfucker have rainbows for eyebrows? The colors look nice, but like the design is god awful. It looks like a bowl of Lucky Charms threw up all over the fucking place. What are we doing? Basic Fun. What the fuck are we doing? This last set of 4, The bottom right Clydesdale horse, why the fuck are we just putting swirls places? Guys, what the hell? I can see the concept for the octopus, but it's very poorly executed. I don't know, I just don't like it. It looks like shit to me. Same with the tiger, the color story is awful. I want to like the peppermint shepherd, okay? I want to like the peppermint shepherd, but there's just something about putting blue with the colors red and white that ick me. The blue kind of ruins the design for me. I really want to like him though. I really do. He's cute. Really, honestly, the only one out of these ones that I actually fucking like. Jesus. Alright, now I'm gonna read some comments on this post. Slowdrift says, these are so cute, but also like, no way LPS Popular has such a big impact that they get their own special drop in the new gen. That's crazy. Fluffs Toys says, OMG, I can finally own my own Brooke and Savvy without paying an arm and a leg for them. I like that they're pushing for more detailed designs. It's not perfect, but I think it's a step in the right direction. As much as I like natural pets, it can get a bit boring. I think the idea is pretty cute. I'd probably design it a little different, but it's supposed to be like an ice cream cone, I think. It's getting the idea across, probably talking about the octopus. This other commenter says, I'm tired of everyone meat riding basic fun. I get they brought back the original molds, but I feel like it's just a last resort to keep the LPS brand running at this point. There's no creativity, the quality is terrible. For a packaged consumer product like Littlest Pet Shop, this is not a good generation design-wise. There have been worse, but I feel like they're using the default color settings on Animal Jam Art Studio for everything instead of hiring people with creativity and a desire to better design. So we're seeing a mixed bag of reactions here. I'm going to keep reading comments, but I just wanted to cut in to say that that last commenter really does sum up how I feel about this leak right here, this first leak. This shit is god-awful. This person, Florally or Floral.ly, I'm not sure how to pronounce your username, sorry. All of this stuff will be on the screen. I really wish they would stop using old designs and come up with fresh new ones. This person says, look at anything after slide 1, bro. They're just re-releasing these 3 pets because they're some of the priciest ones to make them affordable again to the public. They respond to this person, I understand that, but most of the main 5s are old designs, and I do get that they use some to make them affordable, but even when they are released, they aren't the best of quality. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. Even if the Basic Fun was re-releasing these pets to make them affordable to collectors and children, again, they aren't good quality, just straight up. Even if all we're seeing is the rendering photos, given Basic Fun's past behavior, it's not gonna go well. I can foresee the future that they're not gonna look that good. They're not up to standard of the community and of what I personally think should be given to children either. This next commenter says, the comments hyping them up are making me feel like I'm delusional. Am I the only one who thinks these designs are absurd? No, you're not. This commenter says, no, these designs are ugly, it's crazy. Someone else says, they're prototypes, probably bound to change in the future / before release. Yes, definitely, but most likely not in a great direction. Someone else says, it's so ugly, and then someone else replies, no, you're not the only one. Some of these colors are making me feel crazy. Like I've said, the color stories are just absolute dog shit. I feel like I could give a child a blank coloring page of LPS to design, and like a 9-year-old child, and they would come up with better results than this. Holy shit. This commenter says, I wish they would make different main 5s designs rather than making repeats or slight adjustments. I don't know, I'm just kind of disappointed in the quality. You can really tell the quality difference with the repeats too. Exactly. Everyone knows that they're literally just like molding over molds and molding over fake molds. Like, it would be less easy to tell these things if they were coming up with their own original designs than when they're reproducing them, because most people, not a lot of people, but a lot of people do have these LPS, like the old ones, physically. And if they were to get the new ones and compare them to the old ones, the quality difference would be drastic. It's so much easier for me to tone out the mold imperfections in the Basic Fun LPS when it is a Basic Fun original design. So it makes little to no sense to me as to why they would go in the reproduction direction, but I'm sure they literally just wanted to capitalize off the cloud of it. I'm not going to read out all of these comments because we're going to need to get into leak 2, and that encompasses so much more. So I'm just going to on screen put up some of the comments that I screenshotted from this original leak post so you can kind of gauge the community's response to this and come to your own conclusion. But now I think it's time that we get into the second leak. Okay, a little bit of preamble and context giving before we get into the actual leaks. So about a week at time of recording from this happening, there was a fake leak going around the community where somebody used AI to post a fake new wave or drop leak. I'm going to make a whole video about that situation in and of itself because there's a lot to talk about there. But giving brief context to that because a lot of people, when these concept designs were first leaked, a lot of people thought they were fake or AI because that's what happened literally last week. So it's not, I wouldn't criticize you for thinking that they were fake, because like honestly, with the bad fucking Photoshop job that we're about to see, I thought they were fake at first, because holy shit, can we seriously not get a better team to Photoshop shit? I'm just confused. So this first screenshot that we see here is called Trendy and Stylish, the Trendy and Stylish set. Immediately, it looks like a bunch of color, it looks like a rainbow just threw up on my fucking screen. What is going on here? So the deer upon first glance looks cute to me, but this shit It's just, honestly, it's dog shit. I'm sorry, I can't say anything else about it. I have no other, like, thoughtful critiques about it. The butterfly headband could be cute in concept, but I know they're gonna cheaply make it, so yeah. And just the bad Photoshop job in general. What the fuck is a mermaid doing there? Like, these accessories barely are cohesive and make sense at all. The llama, I swear, is just like a recolored one that they've already done. The poodle doesn't look half bad, but it's a horrible Photoshop job. Same with the fox down there. Like, none of the shit looks good. It just doesn't look presentable. I don't know where these came from, but given the fact that we've been given leaks from workers on the design team thus far, I don't think it would be out of left field to say that these were probably leaked by someone internally. Anyway, let's get into this next screenshot, which is Valentine's Day pet pairs. Some of these look decent. This alligator in the Scales and Snuggles set is literally just the exact same alligator they've already released. These heart designs would be cute if they weren't so busy. You know, the capybara is kind of cute. I would love the German Shepherd and the Cocker Spaniel if there wasn't such like random design. Like, and again with that collar that is barely legible that says wolf, just a horrible Photoshop job. The goat would be cute, but why are we putting hearts all over the place? All you needed to do was have the heart motif. You didn't need it to be all over the fucking place. But this is not the most egregious screenshot. The next screenshot we see is called Opposites Attract. Now, before we get into the bottom left corner, which is sparking the most controversy, let's get into the horrible Photoshop job of the bunny and this woodpecker up here. I don't hate the woodpecker's design. It's just, it's incohesive. It doesn't really make much sense to me. The bunny would be okay, but the render is weird and bad. I don't know about you, but I'm not a huge fan of the lizard and the tiger either. That beaver looks disturbing. He looks evil. And the ferret is literally just a copy of an already reproduced Hasbro design. So nothing to say there. Now, let's get into the bottom left corner. Immediately on the sugar glider, I'm 99.9% sure that the sugar glider is probably just a color corrected version of an LPS design that already exists. Again, bad photoshopping job on terms of like the skirt and all that. To the right of the sugar glider, we have this bearded dragon mold. Now, if you're on LPS Instagram at all and you follow LPS customizers, maybe this image might be familiar to you. Maybe you've seen it before. Maybe on someone's account, maybe on Sunflower Pet Shop's account. So all jokes aside, yes, this mold was actually originally created by this wonderful person in the community who makes 3D molds of this pet. And this was their bearded dragon mold named Basil. Now, they are not a customizer. They didn't actually come up with the design of the bearded dragon. They didn't paint it. This other creator collaborated with them on this project, Hellostudios, and they created that design. So technically, two people here, two artists, not just one, two artists are getting fucked over, right? Because neither Sunflower Pet Shops or Hellostudios gave Basic Fun permission to literally use, not even draw inspiration from, actually for real use her image. They used her image and flipped it around and then badly photoshopped on a spiked collar and a black skirt and thought that was gonna pass. Now, I will say, before we get ahead of ourselves, this is not a product that is going to be launched by Basic Fun. This is just concept. I will later show you, Sunny made a statement, official statement on this, and I will have to cut up her statement because it's a 6-minute long video. So I'm gonna have to like cut to the relevant parts of her statement. If you want to see the statement in full, you can view that on her Instagram account. In her statement, she says that she got in contact with Basic Fun a while ago and they asked her if they could use her 3D design mold for the bearded dragon, and they were communicating back and forth about it, but ultimately she decided to not give them, rights to the bearded dragon design. If you want to play devil's advocate and say that these designs were created before Sunny gave her no, that is definitely a theory. That is at least one theory that we could go with, but in my mind, I'm more inclined to go with the other theory, given other things that we're going to talk about soon. In my opinion, I don't think that we would see anything from Basic Fun if they did not want us to. If they did not want us to have access to these leaks, we wouldn't. Period. End of. This is a company at the end of the day. They keep their shit locked down on tight lock and key. There's no way that there's any plausible deniability there. These were concept designs that they wanted us as a community to see. In my mind, at least. I can't say for 100% certain because I don't have any connects to the design team or Basic Fun, but allegedly, in my opinion, I believe that these leaks were leaked on purpose. There's no way that we would be seeing these leaks if they didn't want us to see them. But I wanted to read the caption of Jenna's updated post. In brackets, it says, confirmed real concept design. These designs came to me from people who were claiming they originally came from someone who was, quote, a verified source who worked at Basic Fun. See, that's what I'm saying. People who work at Basic Fun are leaking these on purpose for us to see. There's no other explanation. After reviewing the images, I was made aware of stolen artwork with the bearded dragon, which is an original mold design belonging to at Sunflower Pet Shop. We cannot ignore the fact, even if these are unofficial proposal or concept art. Someone's original design should never be concept for a product without the artist's knowledge, consent, or anything else. This situation is very crazy and very confusing for all LPS fans, customizers, and artists as well. We are actively investigating the validity of the situation and understanding of what's going on. We will keep y'all updated. So I think right now is an appropriate time to play Sunny's statement on this, and then we're going to move into the community's reaction to this whole thing.
Hi, I know why we're all here, so let's get to it. Hello, I am Sunny. I am a 3D artist, a 3D modeler, 2D illustrator, 2D artist, majored in animation, independent artist, and my image might have been used. So what happened? A little bit of context. Basic Fun, the company itself, had contacted me back in July, and we did have a meeting. It was nice. They basically made it very clear that they wanted to collaborate with me. What this entailed was they wanted to see if they could get me as an independent contractor, and they wanted to buy this little guy. That's right. Well, not this little guy, but the model to this little guy. So we kept talking, had an exchange. They ultimately decided not to both of those things. So, you know, bummer, it happens. It's okay. Months pass, and then there's this scandal about the AI leaks recently, right? I saw them. I was kind of fooled, but I was also kind of skeptical. So when they did come out as fake, I was like, okay. So then the most recent leak happens, and I see this little guy again, little Basil, right? And I thought it was strange, sure, but I was very skeptical still because I was like, well, this probably is fake too, right? Until accounts that usually share real leaks were sharing this one. When that happened, I was like, well, okay, wait a minute, what is going on? So while everybody was starting to say and confirm that these were fake, I was in the background scattering around, trying to find answers, trying to see if these were real or not, right? So I sent an email back to Basic Fun, like the first time they contacted me, to try to understand what was going on. At the same time, ambassador friends came to me, because they recognized my work, so they also asked Basic Fun. My ambassador friends came to me first, and they relayed a message about how these images were real, but just old, and that they wanted to reassure me that they were not going to use my model. So I was, okay, I guess they won't release my model, okay, woof, that's good. Still weird, but that's good, right? And so I was still waiting for a response to my email because I was hoping I would get further explanation. The email came, and I didn't get any further explanation. I basically just got the same message about how these were old and how they weren't going to use my models. So after this, what's the problem, right? They're not going to use my model. Everything's fine. Yeah, see, the thing is, these are still my pictures. It contains both my work and Audie's work, Hellostudios' work, because she painted that one. And quite frankly, I think and I believe, whether or not these were internal and only shown internally, that these should not have been used because they do not own the model nor the picture. Not only that, as you may have known by now, this has happened before. A few times before, at the very least. I know for Hellostudios it's happened before. I know for LPS Honey it's happened before. Allegedly, there might be a different person who also feels that it might have happened to them. I'm not going to speak on anybody else, just from what I know and what happened to me. So I personally just think when these leaks keep happening, right? When you make concept art with images that aren't yours, when it gets out, there is an issue because people are going to see it and they're going to believe that these images are yours, that these models are yours, that these new products are yours, that you made them. Because quite frankly, if it weren't for the people that recognize my work, a lot of people would have thought that this bearded dragon was a Basic Fun thing. So I don't know. What do I expect at the end? I kind of just expect, honestly, some kind of accountability, some kind of, you know, be more responsible with the way they use images. Why do I say this? Because as an animation major, I do believe that, like, when you present something as a reference or as an inspiration, you all the time have to state your source. You have to tell people where they're from. In that same slide, whenever I would use it for any presentation, I would always have to. Even if people could clearly see that the work wasn't mine, you still have to. And so I just felt like it was not very responsible to use images, Photoshop images into your slides, into your concept art, whatever it is, pitches, without stating that these are not yours, right? That's just my thoughts. And there seems to be no checks, there seems to be no catching who's leaking these things, and they just keep happening. There's got to be something done about it. And those are my thoughts.
So basically, when Sunny reached out to Basic Fun's team and asked them, like, hey, what the fuck is going on? They basically just reiterated what most everyone already knew, which was that these were old concept designs that they were not going ahead with. However, I think it is still important to point out that they, A, didn't acknowledge that they used her artwork without her consent, B, didn't acknowledge that they used her artwork without her consent without fairly compensating her for doing so. I mean, I understand that they did not end up going with this design, but you cannot use someone's artwork, even in a mood board, when you're a company, when you are a business, without like their permission or like fairly compensating them. Like she says there at the end, even in college you have to cite your sources as to where you're getting these reference images from. It's like you have to do it. So it wouldn't have taken literally 5 seconds to put like her at underneath the bearded dragon design. I think it's just really shitty and shifty of them to do that and then just kind of like skirt around taking blame for it, especially when being directly contacted by the person who made the mold and they found out, and then you're just like, oh, well, this is an old concept design. It doesn't matter. Why would you use it in the first place? Elaborate. Why would you use it at all without her consent in the first place? I don't care what it's for. I don't care why, because we've already heard Sunny's perspective, we're going to do Hellostudios story post. She says, I'm aware that Basic Fun has used at Sunflower's Pet Shop sculpture and my paint in their confidential concepts drafts for future LPS production lines. Neither of us had known our artwork was being used in this way until these images leaked online. I'm currently speaking with staff connected to the LPS ambassador crew so they can try to come to an understanding as to what happened here. Please give Sunny your support. This is their original 3D printed model, not a custom LPS. And then Hellostudios posted this next story post. I would also like to give a reminder that this is not the first time I've witnessed my artwork being used in some capacity at Basic Fun without my knowledge. Interesting. Like this photo taken at the toy fair for the new axolotl mold that came out. So I saw this going around a while ago, and honestly, I hadn't seen this photo before, so I wasn't sure, because at the time it was just like vague whispers, and I wasn't sure if this was actually real. But even though the image is blurry down there at the bottom left, you can clearly see the resemblance between the LPS axolotl mold on the promotional material and Hellostudios' original artwork. This is just scummy and shitty and overall lazy and disappointing that you expect us to pay you for lazy slop. Like this, it's just getting ridiculous at this point. It's actually sickening. I'm sick to my stomach. So let's get into some comments underneath the leak post. Tiki's LPS Custom says, it's a shame that they didn't ask permission to use photos of Sunny's model in their concept photos. They know most fans would be delighted to work with them and have work featured. However, stealing an image with no credit or permission whatsoever is just wrong. What they could have done is made an amazing opportunity to uplift an artist turn into something that puts off someone's entire inspiration. This person, Mars Don't Mind, said, Basic Fun could have opened the door to amazing collaborations with artists who would greatly appreciate and benefit from working with them. Instead, we got this. Very upsetting. I agree. Very upsetting. I'm not impressed in the slightest. I'm going to read out this comment because I found it interesting. Not LPS, but My Little Pony wise. Basic Fun used images of customs by Panda Bears, Fancy Swirl Ponies as a placeholder for their Amazon listings of their product, in parentheses, which they called Celestial Ponies, without permission. Suspiciously, the final products also use the exact same poses as the customs, despite the original intended designs, Fancy Swirl Ponies, being an unreleased Gen 1 line, using entirely different ones. So clearly, this is a pattern for Basic Fun. And it seems as though they have absolutely no originality. Like, damn, bro, could you at least make something cohesive that's original? Fuck! Some more comments read, the community has been patient with so much, but it draws the line at stealing from artists. We are an important cornerstone of the community and we would deserve credit, compensation, and respect. Exactly. Basic Fun, at the end of the day, regardless of if children like Littlest Pet Shop or not anymore, Basic Fun, its core fucking audience is adult collectors. And it has known that since the fucking start. It put Puppy Lover on the front page of its marketing when we first got the first wave. So let's not play pretend as to them knowing or not knowing who they're catering to. They know who their fucking market is because they're studying our community members for design concept ideas. Moving on to this comment, this person says, they steal ideas and their main lead on the LPS team loves AI. What's next? Yeah, so the a higher up person on the Basic Fun team for the Littlest Pet Shop division apparently is a meat writer for AI, and I've heard vague whispers that the CEO, Joe, I can't remember his last fucking name, apparently he's also a meat writer for AI. So that's saddening and disappointing. We are destroying the environment for marketing campaigns that nobody gives a fuck about anyway. Okay. Y'all are giving me a fucking headache at this point. So now I'm going to talk about this whole boycott thing. So this is the reason why this has blown up like it has, because Prescott Hill, he was a designer for Hasbro from 2004 to 2006. I could be getting those dates wrong, but he's a very beloved member of the community. He's very active in the LPS community. He goes to LPS cons. He's very, very respected in this little niche community of the internet, right? So he posted yesterday, it's time to boycott Basic Fun. Tail Napkin and I, Prescott Hill, stand united in calling for a boycott of all Basic Fun products due to their horrendous behavior regarding creatives in this community. This community is a pillar of their LPS success and deserves respect, especially creators whose work was borrowed without permission or compensation. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Stop buying their products and keep your money within the community. Let's end this corporate smash and grab and show them we don't need them, but they need us. Join the boycott. So this is calling for a complete boycott of all, I'm assuming all LPS products, but all also Basic Fun products, in order to show them, like, we mean business. Like, we're not gonna let our artists and creators just be fucked over like that. This is a big fucking deal. If you're not like super into the LPS community and you don't know a whole lot about this is a massive fucking deal. I will say Prescott Hill is a very staunch political advocate. He's a very cool and based dude. Very, very kind and nice also. Speaking out on Basic Fun's treatment of the community means a lot. Even though he doesn't technically work for them, he worked for their parent company. He's a very highly respected member of this community. He has a lot of push. Right now, I'll put on screen some comments that were underneath Prescott Hill's post. I don't want to read them all out because some of them are lengthy, but I will definitely give some of these comments their moment to shine because I agree with a lot of these comments for sure. Okay, so I'm actually going to cut in here from my original recording to update this because some shit has happened since I, recorded this whole thing. So, on the Prescott Hill thing, I I'm going to say that I did not see this, or the original post that he's referencing in this post. This post says, I was advised to take down my last post. This is not a good day. So I have a screenshot here of some comments that give some further context to this. Someone asks what happened. Someone replied, a few hours ago, he made a post talking about how Hasbro told him to delete his art books from Amazon because of the boycott he was doing against Basic Fun. He also said that today was the last day to buy his LPS art books on Amazon before they disappear. Now, don't piss me the absolute fuck off. Okay, while I'm ranting about this, I'm gonna put some comments on screen from other community members who have some things to say about this, because I obviously can't read them all out for time's sake. But holy fucking shit, this just proves that Hasbro, as the company, are backing this decision by Basic Fun to steal creative material from artists within this community. And the fact that they are trying to go after Prescott Hill for art that he illustrated for them is fucking insane. That's his art. That's shit that he drew. That's his art. He's legally allowed to sell books with that material. Like, I cannot believe they're trying to pull copyright on Prescott Hill because he called a boycott. Like, are we seeing this? Honestly just kind of speaks to the political climate that we're in at this point, that if you so much as speak out on any wrongdoing that's being done, you're gonna get fucking shut down and silenced. This is literally just classic #1 case of censorship. I cannot believe that he legally cannot speak out on what the fuck is going on because his lawyers have advised him to not. Like, he's gonna get in legal trouble if he tells anyone about what the fuck they're trying to do, literally silencing him. Such bullshit. Ugh, I'm so pissed off. Anyway, back to past me with the rest of this stupid Basic Fun bullshit. Fuck Basic Fun and fuck Hasbro. Now here I have story posts on Instagram. I wanted to discuss these together because they are opinions on this situation that I would like to read them out and critique them with my own opinion on the situation. So this first story post that I'm going to read off is probably going to be the one that's going to get me the most heated. This post was from LPS Astra, which I believe this person is or was an LPS ambassador at this point. So it doesn't shock me that honestly that they would have this opinion, but it does piss me off. So let's read what they said. Okay, so I've read a lot of different opinions on the matter today, and the situation might be upsetting to a lot of people, but I have a different perspective on this whole situation, and in my opinion, we're allowed to share our opinion. If you don't share my opinion, don't hate on me or others who might share the same opinion as me. Let's be respectful. In my opinion, it's not a big deal.
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that.
All right, let me just stop you there. Was it your art that was stolen? Was it your 3D render that was stolen and you didn't have any permission or compensation for that? I don't think you get to say that it's not a big deal, especially in a community where everybody claims support artists, everyone's out here claiming support artists until an artist gets fucked over and something needs to be called out about it. I'm sorry, let's continue. These are just concept arts, likely unfinished ideas that weren't meant to be released just yet. Again, we've already covered that. If they didn't want us to see them, if they didn't want it to be released, we wouldn't have seen them, period. The final products may not even resemble them. Basic Fun won't release stolen designs or copied accessories.
Okay. Whatever that means.
I've witnessed it on the new G7 axolotl where the final design was very different. In my opinion, it's great that Basic Fun takes inspiration from the LPS community because in the end, they genuinely listen to our feedback and incorporate our ideas into future molds and into their new releases. Okay, I'm going to have to stop there. I'm sorry. I wanted to read all this out in full, but this is pissing me off.
And I'm gonna and I'm gonna
They're not taking inspiration from the LPS community. They're straight up stealing ideas and concepts from the LPS community. They're not listening to community members. Community members have been speaking out about so many different things. The quality, the designs, and the color stories being absolute dog shit. There were so many different issues that people spoke about publicly online. There is documented proof all over Instagram, Reddit, YouTube of people having problems with Basic Fun, and Basic Fun has not taken that into consideration at all. If they cared about the community side of the LPS community, they would actually incorporate our ideas and our feelings into it, but they don't. And I understand that Astra has to give a PR response because I'm like 90% sure they're an ambassador, but I don't give a fuck. To say that they're taking inspiration when they're literally just observing and stealing it is the dumbest fucking thing I've heard in a very long time. Okay, I'm just gonna stop there. Let me just say, I think this take is extremely tone deaf and honestly low-key disrespectful on the part of the artists who got their concepts stolen from. I forgot to even mention that Basic Fun was caught stealing again by, I think it was LPS Honey. She got a thumbnail of her video used on box promotional material by Basic Fun without her knowledge or permission. So again, this is just another pattern with Basic Fun of them being a shitty fucking company with shitty fucking morals. And for you to sit up here on your platform and to say it's not a big deal is so insensitive. I have a screenshot here of this comment by Tail Napkin on LPS Astra's story post. It says, "You lost all my respect." Oof.
Why would she say that?
Ooh, wow, that is guttural. And yes, low key, yeah, honestly, 100% agree. This is extremely insensitive. Okay, here is LPS Frill's story post that's kind of tangentially related to this situation. This isn't really like controversial, but I wanted to read it anyways because I agree with this take. It baffles me that people continue to glaze basic fun by saying it isn't a big deal that they use someone else's art for concept design. Like, yes, it is. You're missing the point. They're a multi-million-dollar company that could easily either come up with their own design or, I don't know, ask the artist for permission to use their designs as a reference. Stop feeling bad for them. Don't show them sympathy. They've done literally nothing to deserve it. Period. They are a faceless, soulless organization. Even the people working at this place, designing these things, have done absolutely nothing to or have earned your sympathy or respect. Ever since they bought out LPS, they've been doing nothing but continuously disappointing not only this community but consumers in general. They need to do better. End of. At the end of the day, even if the community isn't happy, they are ultimately letting down their consumers by churning out this fucking slop and then continuously raising the prices of these things as if they're worth that fucking price. Like, there was this set that released on I think Amazon a while ago that was $60 fucking, and it's like some like collector's grade quality. I don't give a fuck what you call it. There's nothing that Basic Fun makes that's worth $60, even 18 pets, which I honestly thought that $69 for the original set of 18 blind box pets in wave 1 was fucking insane, which is why I never did it. For 18 pets, it should be like closer to like 20 bucks, maybe 30 if anything, but $60? You've gotta be smoking crack. So my conclusion on this whole thing, I really wanted to have hope for Basic Fun. Dude, when I heard about that re-release back when it first started, I was hyped than a motherfucker, man. I had just started recollecting LPS and I had a few at that point. I hadn't gotten back my old collection from my dad. I was so excited and I had high hopes, and when the first wave came around, my high hopes were shattered a little bit. I was disappointed in the quality and the designs in Gen 1 or Wave 1, but at that time I really didn't want to admit it to myself, I think. Wave 2 was slightly better, but I was still disappointed in the quality, and Wave 3 got better, but the designs got worse. Like, they're improving, but at a snail's pace, and it's been over a year that they've been in production. They should be like, come on guys, pick up the fucking pace. Like, we get it together. Come on now. Like, people are losing interest. You're losing your core fan base that is a guaranteed moneymaker for your product. That was something that I did not understand when Hasbro started ignoring people, like their consumer base's critiques, and they kept on doing what the fuck they wanted to do. You have a guaranteed money source. Why are you not listening to their critiques, especially in the internet age where people's critiques are so widely available? I don't know, man. You gotta start like actually taking on critiques as a business if you want to succeed and not burn to the ground like Hasbro did. I foresee that if they don't change something drastically and start doing some very heavy damage control and stop using fucking AI, then the community is going to abandon them the same way that they did Hasbro, and they're going to go back out of business. The line will fail and they'll lose a fuck ton of money. Basic Fun, honestly, fuck you. But like, seriously, listen to your consumer base. Anyway, that's all from me today. I'm going to shut my big fucking mouth. I've been here for damn near 2 hours recording. I know I have at least an hour of footage to cut down. Hopefully I can get it down some, but if not, this video is going to be really fucking long. All right, I'll see you guys some other time. Later.